Science 3, Quarter 2, Week 2. Science in our daily life. Observing and measuring patterns in nature. Revise K-12 curriculum with me, teacher KMT. Good day, kids! Today, we will learn about science in our daily life, observing and measuring patterns in nature. Day 1. Objective. At the end of the lesson, the learners should be able to measure the length and width of different natural objects, like leaves, using a measuring tool. Activating prior knowledge. What is the woman doing? Good job! The woman is measuring the height of the boy. Recall what you have learned in the first quarter about measuring as a science process skill. What do you do when measuring? Good job! When you measure something, you use a tool to find out how big, long, or heavy it is. What tools can we use to measure objects such as leaves? Great! We use tools such as a ruler and a meter stick to make our observations on length, height, and width of objects more accurate. Now, get your ruler and point to specific measurements. These can be 15 millimeters in the ruler, 18 centimeters in the ruler and meter stick, and 1 meter in the meter stick. Now that you have recalled concept about measuring, look at this arrow. Do you know what this arrow is? A double-headed arrow means we are looking at the distance from one point to another. It shows that we measure in both directions, from the start to the end, or from the end to the start. Example, let us say we have a plant twig. If we want to measure how long the twig is, we place a ruler next to it. The double-headed arrow tells us to measure the length from one end of the twig to the other end. One arrow points to where the twig starts. The other arrow points to where the twig ends. The double-headed arrow shows that we are measuring the entire twig, not just a part of it. Lesson purpose or intention. How do you know that a plant is growing? Which one do you think is older? How can you be sure? As plants grow, their leaves get bigger. We can measure the length and width of plant parts to observe changes in plants. How do we know that leaves are getting bigger? Awesome! By measuring their length and width, we can tell that leaves are getting bigger. Using measuring tools, we can accurately measure the length and width of leaves. Complete the sentence using the images. I noticed this leaf is bigger because it is longer and wider. So, the longer and wider the leaves are, the blank they are. What do you think is the correct answer? Great! Larger. The larger they are. Remember, leaves grow bigger as the plant grows. Today, we will learn how to measure leaves accurately using rulers, just like scientists do when they study plant growth. Lesson language practice. In our previous lessons, we practiced using context clues to understand new words. Today, we will continue applying this skill to help us understand scientific terms related to measuring objects, such as leaves. Read the following sentences. Number 1, the width. The width of a leaf influences how it catches sunlight. Number 2, when measuring, always place the ruler on a straight surface. If placed on a curved surface, the measurement will be inaccurate. Number 3, sessile leaves have no petiole, or the part of the plant that connects the leaf blade to the stem. Reading the key idea or stem. Developing understanding of the key idea or stem are to be guided by your actual teacher. Length is how long something is, like from your head to your toes. Width is how wide it is, like from one side to the other. Deepening understanding of the key idea or stem. Measuring challenge. Get a gumamela leaf or any leaf that you see outside your school or classroom. Measure the length and width of the leaf. Do leaves have the same length and width? Correct! No, leaves have different lengths and widths. Why do leaves differ in length and width? To answer this question, please complete the sentence. They differ in length and width because they have different. Good job! Shapes and sizes. Since plant leaves vary in shape and size, their lengths and widths also vary. We measure leaf sizes to track plant growth and to check if the plant is healthy. Aside from the ruler, what other simple equipment can you use to measure the length and width of leaves accurately? Correct! Meter stick. Other than a meter stick, you can also use a tape measure. Have you seen a tape measure? A tape measure also has millimeter and centimeter markings and is handy. Now this is a note to your actual teacher. Making generalizations and abstractions. Number 1. How do you measure the length and width of leaves? Very good! To measure the length and width of a leaf, we can use a ruler. Place it from the top to the bottom from the length and across the widest part for the width. Number 2. Why do leaves differ in length and width? Good job! Leaves vary in length and width due to their different shapes and sizes. Complete the sentences. I can measure the length of a leaf from one, good job, end of its longest part. Another, leaves differ in length and width because they differ in shape and sizes. How could measuring leaves help farmers or scientists? Good job! It could help farmers to know which plants are healthy. It could help scientists in checking how plants grow in different places. Evaluating learning. Multiple choice questions. Write the letter of the correct answer. Number 1. Look at the leaf. Question. Which statement about the leaf is true based on its measurements? A. It is 8 meters long. B. It is 70 millimeters wide. C. It is about 7 centimeters long. What is the correct answer? Good job! C. It is about 7 centimeters long. For items 2 to 3, look at the illustrations below. Number 2. Which diagram shows the correct arrow for measuring the length of the leaf? A. X. B. Y. C. Z. What is the correct answer? Great! C. Z. Number 3. Which diagram shows the correct arrow for the width measurement of the leaf? A. X. B. Y. C. Z. What is the correct answer? Awesome! The correct answer is A. X. Number 4. Which of the following statements is a correct step in measuring the length of the leaf? A. Place the ruler across the widest part of the leaf. B. The one mark of the ruler must correspond to the edge of the leaf. C. Place the ruler from one end of the longest part of the leaf, either the tip or base, to the other end. What is the correct answer? Good job! Letter C. Place the ruler from one end of the longest part of the leaf, either the tip or base, to the other end. Number 5. Which of these is not correct? A. Anyone can use measuring scales to find the size of a leaf. B. You can put a ruler on a curved surface to measure the width of leaves. C. We can measure the length and width of leaves using millimeters and centimeters. What is the correct answer? Correct! Letter B. You can put a ruler on a curved surface to measure the width of leaves. Day 2. Objective. At the end of the lesson, the learner should be able to compare natural objects like leaves based on their measured length and width using a table. Activating prior knowledge. Which leaf is the longest? Correct. Which is the widest? Good job! Lesson purpose or intention. If two leaves look almost the same, how can we tell their actual size? Awesome! We can measure them with a ruler. Today, we will investigate how to compare the length and width of leaves accurately using a ruler. Lesson language practice. Number 1, the leaf is narrow, measuring only 2 centimeters wide. Number 2, among these leaves, this leaf is the narrowest at 1.5 centimeters. Number 3, the widest tree in the school serves as a home to several birds. Reading the key idea or STEM. Developing understanding of the key idea or STEM. And deepening understanding of the key idea or STEM are to be guided by your actual teacher. You can use a ruler to measure the length and width of different leaves in your classroom or at home. You can estimate the length and width of a leaf using your sense of sight and touch. But measuring with simple tools such as a ruler, meter stick, or tape measure provides a more accurate result. Making generalizations and abstractions. Why do we need to measure the length and width of leaves? We measure the length and width of leaves to learn more about plants, like how healthy they are and how they grow. What do we learn when we measure leaves? Great! We learn how long and wide a leaf is. How can measuring help us compare different leaves? Correct! It helps us find patterns in leaf sizes, such as small leaves on one plant and big leaves on another. Where else do we use measuring scales? Great! When checking our height, we measure to see how much we have grown. Evaluating learning. Multiple choice questions. Write the letter of the correct answer on a sheet of paper. For items 1 to 3, look at the pictures of leaves A, B, and C below. Then, compare these leaves in terms of their width measurements. Are you ready? Number 1. Which statement is true about leaf A? A. It is the narrowest. B. It is wider than leaf B. C. It is wider than leaf C. What is the correct answer? Good job! Letter A. It is the narrowest. Number 2. Which of the following best describes leaf C? A. It is the widest. B. It is the longest. C. It is the smoothest. What is the correct answer? Awesome! A. It is the widest. Number 3. Which of the following statements is correct? A. Leaf A is wider than leaf B. B. Leaf B is wider than leaf C. C. Leaf C is wider than leaf A. What is the correct answer? Very good! The correct answer is C. Leaf C is wider than leaf A. Number 4. Compare the two leaves below. Which of the following best describes the two leaves? A. Leaf X is wider than leaf Y. B. Leaf X is longer than leaf Y. C. Leaf Y is longer than leaf X. What is the correct answer? Great! The correct answer is B. Leaf X is longer than leaf Y. Number 5. What do you measure when you want to compare the size and leaves? A. Shape. B. Color and texture. C. Length and width. What is the correct answer? Awesome! The correct answer is C. Length and width. Day 3. Objective. At the end of the lesson, the learners should be able to recognize patterns to make predictions. Activating prior knowledge. Observe the picture. What does this picture show? How do we know it might rain? Great! Because of dark clouds and lightning. The boy predicts that it will rain because the cloud is dark and there is lightning. Predicting is a skill using observed patterns to guess or infer what will happen in the future. It is important to have good observations to be able to identify patterns and make predictions. Lesson purpose or intention. What happens when you throw an apple or any object up in the air? Correct. When we throw an apple up in the air, it goes up for a moment, then comes back down because gravity pulls it back to the ground. Now watch this video. Newton made careful observations of patterns that led to a groundbreaking discovery. Let's learn the Isaac Newton's discovery of gravity. Number 1, observing. Newton sees an apple fall. Number 2, experimenting. He throws different objects and observes the same pattern. Number 3, discovering. He formulates the idea that all objects are pulled downward by a force. For today, you need to make careful observations just like Isaac Newton did, and recognize patterns, which is an important step in making predictions. Lesson language practice. Routine. It means regular or usual. In Tagalog, it means nakagawian. Next, we have flow or araro in Tagalog. It means using a tool to break up and loosen the soil. This helps prepare the ground for planting seeds so the plants can grow well. Weeds in Tagalog, damo. It means plants that grow in places where they are not intended, often among crops or in gardens. They can compete with other plants for sunlight, water, and nutrients, which is why weeds are removed to help crops grow better. Harvest. In Tagalog, mag-ani. It means gather fruits or vegetables when they are fully grown, ready to eat or sell. Ripe. In Tagalog, hinog. It means ready to eat and mature. Crops. In Tagalog, pananim o ani. It means cultivated plants for food. Products o produkto. It means items made, grown, or created that people use or sell. Reading the key idea or STEM. Developing understanding of the key idea or STEM. These parts are to be guided by your actual teacher. Deepening understanding of the key idea or STEM. Number 1. What is the weather like today? Number 2, is it sunny, rainy, or cloudy? Number 3, do you think it will rain tomorrow? Number 4, why or why not? Number 5, how do we know if it might rain soon? And number 6, what signs do we look for? Did you know that weather scientists called meteorologists can make weather forecasts using the predicting skill? Meteorologists look for patterns in the atmosphere using scientific equipment, one of which is a satellite, which takes pictures of Earth's cloud formation every hour. By careful observations, meteorologists can determine patterns, and these serve as their basis in weather forecasting. Making generalizations and abstractions. Now, let us put together what we have learned about predicting. Observing details. Second, noticing patterns. Third, looking for clues. Then, sequencing events. Lastly, making predictions. How can you arrange the sequence of events in an activity? What clues did you use? Very good! I can arrange the sequence of events by careful observations of what is going on in an activity. I use patterns as clues. By doing so, I am able to think of the possible events that can happen in the activity. Evaluating learning. Arrange the following illustrations to show the sequence of events based on observed patterns. Place the numbers 1 to 5 in the boxes, with 1 representing the first activity and 5 representing the last activity in the sequence of events. Let's answer. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. Good job, kids! Day 4. Objective. At the end of the lesson, the learners should be able to make predictions of real-life events such as plant growth, changes in water levels, and behavior of water on different surfaces based on measurement and observe patterns. Activating prior knowledge. Do you remember this activity? What pattern did you observe in these illustrations? Why do you think so? Good job! Mango trees grow from seedlings to young trees and then to bigger trees. Once the mango trees mature or ready to bear fruits, these trees bear fruits that can be harvested later on. Lesson purpose or intention. Can you arrange these steps in the correct order? Amazing! Correct order. Plowing the field, planting seeds, watering crops, and harvesting. Now answer this question. Number 1. What happens if one step is skipped? Possible answer if watering the plant is removed. If we don't water the plants, they might dry up and die. Number 2, how do we know what comes next? Possible answer. Just like in farming, we can predict changes in objects by looking for patterns. Lesson language practice. Number 1. Seed. A small, round or oval part of a plant that can grow into a new plant. Sample sentence. Rosa planted a seed in the soil. After a few days, it started to grow into a small plant. Number 2. Fishing ground. It means fishing water or fishing area. Sample sentence. The fishermen ride their boats in the morning and gather in the fishing ground to catch fish. Number 3. Water level. It means depth of water. Sample sentence. The water level in the pool is just enough for the kids. It reaches their knees. Reading the key idea or STEM. Developing understanding of the key idea or STEM. Deepening understanding of the key idea or STEM. These parts are to be guided by our actual teacher. Making generalizations and abstractions. How do you make predictions? Good job! I can make predictions by observing carefully what is happening. By doing so, I can identify the patterns in the events, actions, and activities and use these patterns as a basis in predicting what can happen next. Well done, kids! Evaluating learning to be guided by your actual teacher. What have we learned today? Today, we learn about how to measure the length and width of different natural objects, like leaves, using a measuring tool. How to compare natural objects, like leaves, based on their measured length and width using a table. How to recognize patterns to make predictions. And how to make predictions of real-life events. Kids, thank you for listening. I hope you have learned. Please do not forget to click the like, share, and subscribe.